found something really weird in my backyard. So, I was out there yesterday evening on one of my regular gnome hunting expeditions. Me and those little guys have beef that goes way back. It's a long story. When I stubbed my toe on something big. Now, with my usual demure and calm composure, I reached down and I unearthed the object that so rudely disrupted my nightly feud. From the comments in my previous videos, I knew you guys were little sketchbook fiends like I am. So I put my gnome squishy on pause for the night and ran straight inside to my studio to start deciphering this mysterious tablet's cryptic commands. So, here they are. Definitely found a mysterious tablet, not at all made up by me.
Commandment the first. Your sketchbook doesn't need to match your art style. Maybe stuff in your sketchbook that you deem bad is just you putting a negative label on things that don't fit your vision of who you are or who you want to be as an artist. Think of your sketchbooks as the twilight zone of your art practice. Let them just happily float out in this fun and spooky nether zone where they don't have to match who your ego wants your artist identity to be. That way, when what you create in them doesn't meet your expectations, or you try something that's not you, but that you feel called to create, you can just let go and completely enjoy it, because your sketchbook is in its own world. It's its own weird and wacky and alive thing.
If you're gluing something down, try gluing it over the edge of a page. So glue it on the front side, but don't glue it on the back side. So when you come to this page, you've got the option of using this as a little fold out flappy thing, but you can always come back later and glue that down if you want, or cut it off. But leaving it there unglued gives you a lot more options.
I look at my paintings and I look at my sketchbooks and I don't really see a connection. Maybe you do. Let me know in the comments below. I just know I have a lot of fun letting my paintings and my sketchbooks be what they want to be. Sometimes those things match up, but more often than not, they don't. Because hey, guess what? We're artists, not brands. We're multifaceted little weirdos that don't need to fit into a neat little box. Commandment the second. Have fun. Fun in your sketchbook comes from a big dose of play, a healthy helping of flow, and a big pinch of exploration, all topped off with a garnish of non-judgment. Something that I think always helps me to have more fun in my sketchbooks if I need to, is to think less in terms of skill and finesse, and more in terms of layers and texture and interaction. Doing things like help me to let loose and enjoy the process over perfection.
The kind of friend that I can never have platonically, and they don't know about what's going on behind the scenes, but they don't need to. I swear I'll keep it between you and me. What we're doing, yeah. I'll keep replaying moments and scenes in my head. Yeah, I'm waking up tired, but you're next to me in the bed. We're not even getting no rest. And we ain't got time for that, and we ain't got patience. Clothes on the floor.
Commandment the third. Take it everywhere. If I could live in the turret of a haunted castle, away from humanity, and only leave it to wander the grounds at midnight in a selection of stunning vintage nightgowns, you bet I would. But sadly, I'm not there yet. So I have to live in society and go out and do things. Now, what makes going out and doing things slightly more bearable? Oh, that's what. I've made it a new resolution to always have a mini sketchbook and at least one pen in my bag at all times. And I've even decided to start going on dedicated sketchbooking adventures more often. I actually just moved to the beach recently and have been completely smacked in the face with the beauty of this coast I live on. So even though I'm feeling a little bit anxious to do it, I think it's probably the filming in public part, something I haven't really done much of before. I'm gonna take my sketchbook out today on a little adventure. I feel like I can handle it if you promise to come along too. And bring snacks. So this isn't comedy or a quirky little thing I'm doing for this video. This is something that I've really done. And that thing is, forgot to pack my paintbrushes. So let's not make that side quest totally fruitless, and let's use that experience as a learning moment. So what I'm going to do right this second is put together a plein air kit. So I'm just going to gather some stuff. I'm going to keep all together so that whenever I want to go out and paint in my sketchbook, little mishaps like this aren't going to happen again. And the only thing I'll have to add to my bag is water and snacks. And I didn't have any snacks this time, so honestly, this little expedition was just cursed from the get-go. Okay, first things first, we're gonna grab some paintbrushes. Ones that I don't use much, so I'm not gonna miss them from like my regular painting practice. Hello. Can you smell the seagulls on me? Now, as for paints, I'll probably switch it up every time depending on like what medium I feel like using. But I'd like to just have a little kit that is ready to grab and go. So if I just, you know, like if I just put this in there, I really like these. So it's kind of like a watercolor / ink, I'd say. Very pigmented, very nice for your sketchbook. Something else that might be fun that I'll chuck in that I don't use too much, and also I'm going to have this stacked up in a little pile so it's not like it's going to be out of reach if I want to use it, use these materials like in my sketchbook at home. So these would be good so I can draw with them, but I can also use them wet. And I'm also going to
take one of these little jars and put that with my little kit.
Commandment the 4th. Draw what lights up your heart. If you find yourself spending way too long umming and ahhing every time you sit down to use your sketchbook, trying to come up with something new to draw, I want to say one thing. Take a breath, my little worrywart. But not just any old breath. Take a deep breath in, and on your breath out, I want you to conjure up the image of the thing that you love drawing the most.
Don't know who I am no more. Don't know.
The thing that you could draw and paint over and over and over again, forever, without getting bored.
Places, set tequila just to heal it.
For me, this is, and has always been, girls and women, and especially faces. For you, it could be houses, dogs, trees, or
your vintage miniature glass bottle collection.
whatever it is, embrace it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you make something. In fact, exploring one thing like an obsessed lover is what some of the greats have always done.
Like everything I do becomes a hobby.
One of my favourite modern artists since I was a wee youth is Audrey Kawasaki.
I'll go for
Now look at her work and dare to tell me you'd ever get bored of her paintings just because they all feature female figures. Come on, punk, I dare ya.
yeah. I'm overthinking, losing inhibition, yeah. Something is missing, it's self-permission, yeah. Gravity really working on me, keep on pushing me into the ground. Why do I feel so entitled? I hear resistance speaking right into my mind. I wish I listened more, cause I know more. Wish I acted right, but it feels like I don't know who I am no more. Don't know who to be, therefore I keep on searching on in the wrong places. Set tequila just to heal anxiety. I don't want this no more. I'll be so bored. Need a new light. Catch me before I fall.
Darkest area. You can use a smudge. I mean, you can use a brush if you prefer brushes, but I really. While I have my art cart thing that has most of my art supplies that I'll use for art journaling and sketchbooking, I also have this. So in this dusty old box, we've got some goodies. And by goodies, I mean this is the box that has all the art supplies that I guess I've wanted to declutter or stuff that I never use. So I thought I'd share with you what's in here and use a couple things from here, because the reason why I've put it back here is because I never use these art supplies. And it's sort of like a bunch of random little things, but that's kind of perfect when you're sketchbooking and art journaling to pick up those random little supplies, and I don't want them to go to waste. I do want to use them. In here, I've got like a bunch of gouache that is either very old and crusty, but I don't want to throw it away, and it's in random colors. So I don't have a full collection of gouache in like a full spectrum of colors, but I figure I'm just going to keep all these random colors and I guess slowly add to them over time, I guess. But because I don't have heaps of colors, I don't use it that much. But I do have these 2 tubes of green. I have no idea why I have 2 of these, and they're essentially the same green. They're so close in color. I have no idea. And I could use these. Yeah. Art Spectrum. Oh. I have 2 of them because one of them's an oil paint. This is oil. This is gouache. I don't know how that got in there. Okay, I'm going to put that with my oil paints. So I'm going to use Art Spectrum, Artist Gouache, Middle Green. I'm just going to chuck some in this spread because I want to use it, you know. I got a couple of Winsor & Newton designer gouaches. This Brilliant Violet might work. And I have the smallest, saddest collection in the world of acrylic gouache, which I would love to get a set of one day, but they also, the reason why they're in here is because I just find they dry too quickly. Opera Rose. Another designer gouache, yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. I've also got stuff like my charcoal supplies in here. I don't use them much, but I really love having them, so I'd never get rid of those. But they're in here because, I don't know, I moved house and they ended up in here. So I've got some, oh, it's actually good. How did I forget these were in here? I've needed some tiny little detail brushes. I didn't know where these went. Like this little pack, and there's also a bigger pack that Montmartre does of like, it's like comes in a brush roll of these detail brushes. Are my favorite. They're really, really good. I think the price is good. The only brush that I don't really use is the angled, it's called an angled spot liner, because it doesn't appeal to me. It's a bit annoying to use, and I've tried. So, you know, 4 brushes, 4 out of 5 for $8 is pretty good. I've got colour pencils in here and I could use those, but I'm not really feeling it on this spread. I also have random gel pens. If I have the right colours. See, it's so weird. I've got like, why do I have 2 of those? I could use this Pitt fine liner in this green colour, May green. And I'll use this gel pen, possibly. I'm just getting a few supplies out just to like have on standby. I'm grabbing out Naples Yellow in designer gouache. I keep finding a few more colours. I do really like designer gouache. I would like to get more tubes of it. It's good. Yeah, this will go with the colour scheme. Maybe this. The reason why this says tester, I didn't steal it. I used to work at an art store, and I was able to just take a bunch of testers one day. So this little Tombow fine liner. I've got weird things in here too, like metallic pencils. If you know, you know. You know why they're in here. Metallic pencils, I'm yet to find, although I haven't really experimented with many, but I'm yet to find ones that actually look good. Maybe if I have a green, I might give it a go just to get weird and wacky with it. No, I don't. I'm like, this is supposed to be gold. That's... use silver. These metallic pens are really nice. They're like sparkly metallic, and they're like duochrome, kind of color shifting. This is just silver. Hybrid dual metallic. All right. here is the little haul of unloved art supplies that are gonna hopefully make a little appearance in this spread.
Commandment the 5th. Be terrible with reckless abandon. You want everything you make to be perfect? Imagine if it was. How boring would that be? Where's the growth? Where's the hero's journey? Where's the artistic struggle, man? Imagine that perfect artist exists, which they don't, by the way. Every single artist had to learn from the ground up, just like you. Now imagine how unrelatable they would be. Now picture you, with your charming and endearing quirks and foibles, your strengths, your weaknesses, but most of all, with your big brave heart that creates with reckless joy and abandon. Can you see how inspiring that person is to literally everyone? Allowing yourself to create recklessly and freely is not only a hell of a fun time, but it also starts a chain reaction of other people realizing that they can do the same.
So believe it or not, that was only half of the wisdom that I deciphered from that bad boy. Make sure you subscribe to my channel to come back for part 2. I'm going to try to film it ASAP, but because of all this, I do have some gnome hunting to catch up on, so it might be in a couple weeks' time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in next week's video. Bye!
Remember my bag of gnomes from the beginning? Do you want to see what was inside that bag?